Well, it's going to be the coldest day of the year in Cairns, top temperature of 20 degrees, currently 18. I thought it might be a mistake, but I checked the Weather Bureau again today online, and they're saying again 20 degree top temperature. I guess it's because of the low cloud cover. Melbourne, I checked them out to get a perspective, and they had a minimum temperature of 6 and a top temperature of 14, so it may not be ideal by our standards, but it's paradise by theirs, so it's all relative. And there's the bus. So I'm going to be lazy today, and I'm going to take the bus straight into the hospital, get my meds, and hopefully I won't feel like a basket case after it, but time will tell. So always a bit worried when I'm on new medication. You just don't know what's going to do to your body. Everybody's different, and everybody's reaction to medication is different. So yesterday I walked for an hour back, to the sports club, the Twenties Sports Club. Glad I did it. It was quite good. Richmond did win the match, but they weren't exactly convincing in a big time. But they probably weren't going full throttle because they regarded the opposition as being rather weak. So they got across the line, that's the main thing. But they need to win against top opponents before they've got any authority going into the finals. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to take the long route. It's going to be an hour-long bus ride at least to get to the hospital. The schools aren't in, so I don't have to worry about getting a whole lot of school kids around, because it's just after 8 o'clock in the morning, so they won't be an issue. It'll just be workers going into town, presumably. So yeah, something I have to do. I'm going to have to do a weekly bus trip, the way things are looking, for some time. But it's not too bad. I'm not that fussed about it, so I'll see how it all goes. So I've just got to get myself a new kettle too. I discovered that I can get one at Woolworths for about $9. It's on special. But the ones in Coles were at least double that price. They weren't competitive at all. I would have included in my delivery, but they just didn't have anything on offer. So they're not doing that well. They still haven't got their greens either. That's the other thing I can get from Woolworths. So it does pay me to shop at both supermarkets. Even more so when Woolworths is actually established up here, which will be great. But I don't know how long it's going to take them before they get the store up and running. I imagine it doesn't take too long. They must have done this so many times, that establishing a new location for their franchise shouldn't take them too long. But we'll see. They certainly got the okay through the courts. There was an objection. That's all finished, the legal crap. But now they've got to do logistic crap, I suppose. And I suppose these days it ain't that easy. It's not easy to build houses, so I suppose maybe it ain't easy to build a supermarket too. Oh, that was an uneventful bus trip. It's too lazy to walk up to Cook Highway, so we took the long bus all the way here. It got here just a couple of minutes after its scheduled time, so not that it matters because I'm here early anyway. And of course there was the obligatory coughing woman behind me. It seems like it's a standard feature on every bus trip. There has to be some woman. So I don't know why they're female, but there's so far mainly females, all females I can remember, have had coughs. Hopefully the air didn't circulate down my direction. I could do without another cold. But anyway, we'll see what sort of toxic potion they're going to pump into me today and see what sort of effect that has on my body. Hopefully not too drastic. But it's the wonderful world of side effects. You just never know. I'm glad I got my long sleeves up, down now because it's there's a bit of a wind chill. But one thing that was interesting about the bus trip is there wasn't one passenger wearing a mask today. Whereas I find up in Kawara, there's a few of the locals are always wearing masks, and so I'd say a quarter of the bus has passengers wearing masks, which shows the long-term psychological effect these lockdowns have had on people. So a bit sad in a way. I think they would finally relax a little and ditch the mask, but no. Unfortunately, no. I've got to put my damn mask on fairly soon because I'm going into a medical facility, and they're crazy when it comes to mask mandates. Particularly miserable day in Cairns. It feels freezing. I just came out of the building, and it's supposed to be a top temperature of 20 today. I could believe it. It's not nice. It was quite a cold wind blowing when I went in this morning, and it hasn't really improved. It's wet and it's miserable, and I was going to go to Woolies at Smithfield. I might just go home. Bugger this. It's terrible weather. Turned out to be a perfect day night. I was held up at the hospital way longer than I was told. I was told it would take an hour, more like 3 to 4 hours. The nurses were really good, I got to say. She looked after me really well. And now I got a 110 bus, which goes to Palm Cove, and that was actually packed out, which is amazing. Cleared out a bit, but then in Smithfield, a whole lot of drunk passengers got on board, and as I was leaving, they turned on their sound system. And a very loud woman just behind me, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they were pretty pissed. Surprising to see them on this bus actually, but you just don't know what's going to happen in Cairns. But now it's raining again. I was going to get off at Smithfield. I needed to do a little bit of shopping. It was such a goddamn awful day. I just wanted to go home, and I'll pick up a bottle of vino at the liquor land on the way back. But such a contrast to yesterday, which was a really nice day, and this is just totally miserable. Cold, windy, and totally overcast with rain. It's not pissing down, but it's certainly steady. Now I've got to navigate across this rather busy highway and then make my way home. Knees are feeling a bit cool, I've got to say. At least the windcheater is keeping my torso warm. But I'll tell you what, I reckon it'll be struggling to be 20 degrees. I think it's actually more like 16 degrees. It's not warm at all. I think it'll be interesting to see what the Weather Bureau tracks it as. Because I don't think we made 20 today. I think it's actually got cooler as the day's gone on. So rather unusual, and a good day to basically have your own car, I guess. Public transport can be a pain. I mean, I will get back at about the same, a little earlier than the 111 bus, but the 111 bus will take me much closer to where I'm living, and I don't know, maybe I made the wrong decision here, because this rain is just so steady, and if it gets worse, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble, because I've just got my little umbrella that I bought at a co-op in Saigon on a previous trip, so that doesn't give me that much coverage. Oh, well, wish me luck. Oh well, I'm back on level ground at least, and just see if hopefully the traffic won't be too bad and I'll be able to get across this stretch. You've got to be careful today though, because people can't brake that easily with this. In these conditions, they're not exactly conducive to safe driving. So I'll do a little bit of a trot to get across here. Well, that's the first bit navigated quite easily. It is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's probably not the busiest time of day. And actually it looks a little brighter over that way. Oh boy, I wouldn't recommend public transport on a day like today though, I've got to say. Anyway, I feel a lot happier when I get through the door. I'll have to wait a little longer to get a working electric jug, but I don't care. I just don't want to be stuffing around any longer. I just want to get back home. Right, the second major obstacle covered. See how those clouds are over there. Wow, what a day. And of course in Sydney it's much worse, so spare a thought for our southern cousins. Well, as you can see, the bus is leaving. I caught it. I thought the bus driver said he had some sort of technical difficulty with his motor. I couldn't understand what he was saying. I was just about to walk to Liquorland thinking, well, he's out of service. But he wasn't. He's just cooled. He said, I don't know what it was. It was something about turning off the engine, having to turn it on. Maybe he had to cool it down. I don't know what the issue was. But yeah, he was fine. He was obviously running late, to be expected on a miserable day like today. And so I got myself a lift almost all the way back home to the same spot the normal bus would have taken me anyway, but a bit sooner. So I haven't got my kettle, I haven't got my grog, but I don't give a stuff, to be quite frank. I'm just happy to be back home. I'll have myself my coffee. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way of heating it up in the saucepan, the water, and hopefully it'll dry out a little bit. I can finally get those fronds, those palm fronds, into my bin so I can get them collected tomorrow by the garbos. Should have done it yesterday. The forecast was correct. I don't know why I didn't do it yesterday, but I didn't. So that was bloody stupid of me. So anyway, I'm finally home. Birds around here go crazy. Anyway, it's Friday. Had a bit of a rough week. I've been on new medication all week, and I felt particularly lousy early in the week, and I felt a bit better yesterday and sort of middling today, but I've got to go out. I've got to have a blood test. It's a beautiful day, at least the weather's improved. I really felt the cold weather, and it was apparently only 12 degrees top temperature in Brisbane on Monday, which is extraordinary, and 15 on in Townsville. So here it was 20, so it wasn't quite as bad, but it's pretty bad. But yeah, so it's actually now going to be 24 today apparently, so it's probably only about 20ish at the moment. It feels a bit nippy to me. I'm feeling the cold a little more right now, but it could be these pills I'm taking, so who knows. So I'm not 100%, but I've got to walk up to I'm going to walk up to the shops to have a blood test, and then I'm going to head to Smithfield. I desperately need to get there to get some stuff. So I'm getting short on stuff. I've run out of my greens, and so I definitely need to get them replenished. And I've got plenty of grog. I got another consignment of gin sent yesterday, and what's good is that they actually include a couple of bottles of Swedish cider. So that was really nice. They've done that twice now. They've actually put in a little bonus bottle of stuff. The first time was some non-alcoholic champagne, which didn't really do much for me. I haven't tried it, but I guess I could. But the Swedish cider might be worth trying. I think that's actually full strength. So I'll be intrigued to see what that tastes like. I don't mind a bit of cider. More a summer drink, but at least we're getting back to a bit more normal weather now, although we're still going to have a couple of 22-degree days according to the Weather Bureau. So I still regard that as pretty cold. The lowest it usually gets, and it's usually in June, is 23, so it's very unusual. But, you know, that's weather for you. Anyway, I'm going to also want to pick up my glasses. I haven't heard anything from Specsavers about the glasses I paid for. It's supposed to take 2 weeks to come from Melbourne, and I haven't heard a thing. So I've got to follow up on that. And I've got to get a new electric jug. That's really important, because boiling water in a saucepan is just nowhere near as efficient. Oh well, I just got my blood test done pretty quickly, so I've got plenty of time to make the bus, which is good. And I'm feeling a little better. I just felt really early this morning, and it's getting slightly better as the day goes on. Yeah, I've got about 14 minutes to get there. It's about a 10-minute walk, so no problem. Yes, there was a patient in there. There's someone actually being served when I was there, so that's the first. I'd only been there twice. And there was another guy wanted to go in as well, so I guess I was lucky that it wasn't too busy, because I'm trying to coordinate it with the buses up at this stop. It nearly killed me, that 20-minute walk. It shows that these meds are taking it out of me a bit, so I won't be walking back, that's for sure. I'll definitely get the 111 back to my door. Well, I'm pretty close to my door anyway. I wanted to do a little bit of gardening. Yes, I did a little bit, but just I get breathless pretty quick at the moment, so it's annoying, because before I was on the meds the previous weekend, that's why I did all that walking, because I knew I'd be feeling worse this week, and I was right. But I felt fine doing the walking then, but I couldn't possibly do the same thing now. There's no way. And forget the bike rides. So still, it's a nice sunny day. Oh well, 9 minutes to spare for the bus. A lot of traffic Friday afternoon, Friday morning. Guess it's a busy time. Anyway, well, it's a relief to get that trip out of the way. It's quite sunny now. Quite nice, but quite a few locals wearing wind cheaters, and I must admit I was tempted when I was walking up to the shops. I was thinking, should have brought the wind cheater with me, but it's actually quite pleasant now. I got the cheap electric kettle from Kmart. That was a very simple task. That was very easy. It was on the shelf, no problem. Picked up my glasses. They were waiting, and they'd been completed several weeks ago, but the person who took down my phone number got one of the digits wrong, so, and they didn't have any other way of contacting me. I don't know why I haven't got my email. That would have been good, but so they were going to fit them for me, but I was a bit worried about time, because I wanted to get back on this particular bus, and so they just said they'd case them for me. And then I went to the supermarket and got everything I needed, except I was hoping for, I thought the odd bunch might be the capsicums, but apparently they rotate the type of produce each week, which makes sense. So I'll just have to wait until capsicums on the rotation next, because $4.50 for a kilo of capsicums is pretty damn good these days. And I don't care how ugly it looks. So, but anyway, I got everything I need to get. Now I can go home and relax until I have to hit the buses again on Monday. So have a relaxing weekend, which will be good. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.